Hey, how are you? Today I'm going to show you how to deploy an Elixir Phoenix web application into Heroku with a database, a Postgres database included with it. And that's gonna be, it's not hard. We just have to make some configurations and let's start. But first of all, to do it, I have to say that I need to put, okay, that's my app. Okay, let's start with this. This is my app, and I'm going to kind of show you, just want you to know that this is a GraphQL API. And you know, that looks like this, and as you say, my app works. Okay, so the thing is that I don't have this app on GitHub, and I'm going to create a new repository for it because it's important that you have it in a repo. Okay, I think, okay, no more stuff. And I'm just gonna copy this. Where I am. Oh. Okay, now I'm cool. And push all my changes. No. Okay. Now I'm good. Okay, now I have my app ready to be deployed. Okay, next thing is to open Heroku and start doing some stuff here. This is my dashboard, and I'm going to create a new app. Let's see. No. Okay, nice. Okay, that's my app. And the next thing that I'm going to do is to connect my app with a repo, with my repo. So any change that I do can be seen by Heroku. Okay, next I'm going to create a database in the cloud. I'm going to use this service, which is the one that I mostly use. Okay, now I have a database that is not local. This database is somewhere. Okay, here you can see it, and as you see, I have it here. Okay, then what I'm going to do is going to go here and modify this. But before doing this, what I'm going to do is to create an Elixir build pack config file, which is needed by Heroku. And I'm not going to I don't know how to do this, so I'm going to use these two, paste it here, and this is my first one. This is a file that Heroku is going to use to decide. Okay, I took these two files from a project that I had, and with this I'm going to tell Heroku that when building my application, use these versions of Elixir and Erlang, okay? And the other one is for the static assets, okay? In this case, I want to tell Heroku to compile my static assets using this version of Node, which is the one that I had, okay? So hopefully you copied all of this. And then I'm going to create a proc file. And what is a proc file? A proc file is a file that is mandatory to use in Heroku, because that's the file that is going to be used every time. That's the file that is going to be called every time that I make a new deployment. So what you say in this file is what to do when a new deployment is made, okay? So most common thing here is to tell Heroku to first migrate my new changes from my database, the new changes that I have, because maybe when I deploy it, I made new changes, or maybe not. And the other step that Heroku is going to do is to create my server again, okay? So next step is to go to my production configuration and go to this part, the endpoint part, and this is how my endpoint part and everybody's endpoint part looks by default. So we're going to modify this to our needs, and first thing is to tell Heroku that I'm going to load what I'm going to say is to tell Elixir to load variables from the system where I am. In this case, I'm going to be on Heroku, on the operating system, the virtual machines that Heroku is going to assign for me, okay? And that machine is going to have some variables. For example, this one. Sorry. Okay, and I'm going to say this here. Next step is to modify this, which by default is we don't want this. So first, I'm going to say that we want to roll this using HTTPS. Next step is to define the host, and the host can be found here. Okay, but after putting this, because that's the URL of my application, and then I'm going to tell Heroku that I'm going to be using, you know which part. That part is going to be like this. I'm not going to touch this. I'm going to also tell to use SSL. Okay, hopefully it's like this. Okay, The next thing that I'm going to do is to assign a secret key base that is going to be fetched from the Heroku system key base. Secret key base is going to be here, but it's not here because I'm going to create this right now with this. Okay, I'm going to create this here. I'm going to add this. I'm going to tell my app to fetch this from here. Okay, and the name was this one, okay, because that's the name. Okay, next thing is to create a repo configuration, because by default Elixir is not doesn't have it, so you have to tell. Okay, let's put a comment here. That's the name of my app. Repo. I'm going to say that I'm going to use a Postgres database. Yeah, Postgres database. And I'm going to fetch this from not local, but from a certain database that is here. I'm not going to put all of this, so using this I can do it. So I just need to say, hey, fetch this variable from the system where you are. Now create a pool size of a pool of connections with a very small size that is being assigned for me in my free plan, that is 10. And I'm going to say I'm going to get this from this variable, which I don't have, but if I don't have it, I want it to be 10, okay? Because maybe if I get a better plan, maybe I can use this, and maybe that can be added automatically, and when this variable is added into Heroku, now it's going to use this, but by default it's going to be only 10. So the next thing I'm going to say is to say that I'm going to communicate to my database using an SSL protocol. Then I'm going to comment this, okay, because in Heroku you just need this. And the next thing is to create a build pack, okay, a build pack. And what is a build pack? When I deploy my app into Heroku, Heroku doesn't know how to build my app, so I'm going to tell Heroku which are the steps to do it, but I'm not going to write this from zero, because there are people who did this before and did this very well, and I just need to use what they put for us Okay. Here I'm going to the name is okay, that's the name. That's the repo name. Yeah. Just need to put this one here. Okay, and I need another build pack because that only builds the Elixir part, but I also need to tell Heroku how to build my my static assets like JavaScript, and I think the name is is this one. That's the name. So this is a build pack meant to be used to build static assets. Okay, so I'm going to use this and add this. Okay, now everything I have to do is to deploy my new changes, push my new changes into GitHub. And see if this works. Okay, this is the name of my new commit. Sorry, and let's see if the name is the same. Yeah, it's the same. So I'm in the last version, and I just need to wait until this process finishes. Okay. Okay, I had an error on my deployment, and what I did was to modify this, paste this line here. So check out, make sure you do this. Let's see what's going on. And everything is working well. Okay, so let's check if that's true. Okay, I had this error, but it got solved because I was missing this line here. So that was the process to do this, and hopefully you understood. Hopefully I explained myself